my super mess. For me, it's very important to make things visible which are not visible. I have this interest in finding things which are important for society, for example, and making them more visible as they are. I'm very interested in the fragility of life. I love to tell the stories of people. People who are standing for something or fighting for something. This is very important for our society to know and to develop how these groups are living and feeling and how they deal with life. They are so courageous, for example. I mean, in Georgia it's really difficult to be homosexual and to have the courage to go every day on the street and to be what you are, or even to find out what you are. It's a closed community. And it was the question how easy or how difficult it will get into this community and meet these people. It was astonishing how it came out then at the end, because they were so open-minded and so welcoming. Luca took me out into the oldest queer club in Tbilisi, and you know, it's also called a dancing revolution, and dancing is so important for the young people there, and this control about bodies, and these were all topics also then in this work. Dancing was a key issue. It was a fantastic sound and everybody immediately was dancing. And so I was also dancing after years, and it felt so good, and I shook out all my shit I brought with me. It was easy then to build this intimate space and to work together. But yeah, with this dancing connection, it was for me like the opener there to work with them. The first protagonist, Luca, I came into his flat and I was surprised. It was a Baroque flat, you know?
I am who I am, and I don't want to change for everyone, because everyone tried so hard to change me and nothing works.
The process was like we started to play like kids. First I did some interviews with him, like in the kitchen, where he was talking about his problems as a homosexual person. And then we started this part where we prepared like a performance, which I was taking the pictures and he was performing in this space. It's so beautiful because we were playing like kids, installing their lamp, dressing up, and of course it had to be a red dress, and we did even afterwards a selection together and we felt like winners. We did it. With these pictures I went to the next protagonist, which was Godera, and I showed her the pictures and she was like, oh wow, nice, performance, dress, and everybody started to think how they could make their performance with and show their story, their work, and through this, you know. That was really, really beautiful because everybody was totally different, like really different. Godera in her beautiful designs, dresses, which are very dystopic. And then David naked on this Russian bed as a half Ukrainian, things which were not important at those days.
The only way to save freedom under suppressions and attacks is to fight back.
Omar, who brought me to his favorite place in the nature, an old forgotten bridge from the architect of the Eiffel Tower in Georgia, and climbing there with him and taking pictures. Yeah, everybody was completely different, and the story itself built it up from protagonist to protagonist, and this is also how I cut then the final plot. And then it was shown in Tbilisi at the photo festival, and I started to show it here to some of my friends. And also one of my friends is the bishop. He's also an artist.
Years ago, I started to invite artists to bring their artistic point of view in the church, because I saw for the first time it's like a disturbing effect. There's something completely different in the church context, but this other point of view, this specific life experience, this specific experience of world is coming in the church, and there starts a dialogue. I was so touched by the expression of the people in this private stages series, because I saw that people tired of their fights, tired of not having that success they wished. And this was like a symbol, because so many people are in our times disappointed, tired.
He called me and asked me if I would like to make the lengthened clothes. It was this portrait of David where he's lying naked, and we put him like he's falling from the altar. You can see his scars and his tattoos, and people knew that he's a queer person, and the story got along with it.
We brought that image on the altar about reflecting what is giving new power to the people, new life energy, new heart energy, what is bringing us more together, because togetherness is one of sources of having new life.
I think this opportunity just existed because this bishop is special, because he fights for art in the church, and he is looking for the dialogue. And the bishop got 3,000 letters from members of the church inside who were against that piece, and horrible letters, and he sat down for 2 weeks and was writing back every letter.
I think there is no alternative to a real dialogue. Dialogue means not only talking side by side, but to listening. So we have in our church that process now of becoming more synodal, means walking together, and starts by listening, really listening, to open your mind, your heart to another person, to another group of people in our society. And if there are minorities, they should be on the first rank of our list, to whom we open up our mind, open up our hearts, getting their point of views, also seeing how they are suffering, what are their intentions. And if we are really listening to each other, means welcoming each other, step by step, we will see that we are much more connected as human beings than we think before that. Art is in the church almost, let me say, a motor to bring people together, to talk, and to understand better what is the church for, why you're going there. Not only to have your rituals and liturgy, but also to bring all the questions touching human beings, bringing it in the church.
The project did a very spiritual move. With that energy, it was possible to invite all the protagonists to Innsbruck. They showed their work here, which was amazing, and it was also the opening of the Heart of Noise Festival. And Omar, Godera and Luca did an amazing performance also for the opening. It was full of beautiful attention on both sides and beautiful exchanges. Why it is so important to give voice to this community? Because of their life experience. Because they have experiences in social life, in the society, which are so interesting, which we can learn from how to deal with our problems we have also. It's a very interesting input you can find how to deal with life. How they build a community, how they work together, how they protect each other, how you can go along with you are not part of this society. These are really interesting informations for our society to develop in a more human way. I'm very thankful that I had this experience as an artist, because if I could not work there as an artist, I never could become myself so deep in my work. It became closer to me, I became much more alive, I became more self-confident, I became a better fighter, I became, many things. It was so intense and it pushed me.
And maybe better dancer too?
Yeah, yes, no, when I came back I was dancing every day, but yes, I'm going back to Tbilisi, and then I will become a better dancer, I will dance every day.